Bold TV. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to a special episode of Bold TV, a program powered by Bold Hearts Initiative. Bold stands for Beautiful Outstanding Ladies with Disabilities, and we come to you every Saturday by 10:30 a.m. on our social media platforms: Facebook, www.facebook.com/Bold Hearts Network, and our YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/@BoldTV_Bold Hearts. Why am I reading this out? Because I need you to go there and follow us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon for notifications of new episodes that come to you every Saturday by 10:30 a.m. As it is with us, we always focus our conversations on disabilities intersecting with gender, bringing topics that are like lifestyle, edutainment, information, every form of awareness that has to do with disability and the female gender. Today is a special episode because we are showcasing one of ours. As you well know, Bold TV is hosted by beautiful, outstanding ladies who are joining me today. And one of us just finished a very interesting program, and we want to learn about her experience. But before we put the spotlight on our co-host, I would like the ladies who are in the house to do as we do. Quickly introduce yourself, tell us what you do, type of disability, and where you are based.
Hello, good morning, wonderful women. Good morning, online audience. I remain Osaki Teresa George. I reside in Port Harcourt in Onne, River State. I'm a polio warrior, a freelancer, and a farmer. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you.
Hello, good morning. My name is Affion Eton. I am based in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, the base of Afang and Fufu. And I'm a medical lab scientist. I'm also a member of Bold Hearts Initiative, and I use a wheelchair from spinal cord injury. It's good to be here.
Yes, Affion, you are welcome. And that's Afang and Fufu. We are coming for it sharply. All right, listening in, we have Barrister Florence. You may not be able to speak, you may not be able to see her, but she is listening in. So normally I would throw the introduction over to our next person, but she is the guest. I'll go ahead and introduce myself, and then by way of opening, she will also introduce herself. So my name is Freki Andrew Essien. I am a member of Bold Hearts Initiative, also the Edie of Faker Foundation, a public health practitioner, and I am based in Port Harcourt in River State. I use a wheelchair because of spinal cord injury, and I am glad to be bold, and by the grace of God, beautiful, by the grace of God. So, Oluwatomisin Olatayo, formerly, or they say Ni Adefa. Please go ahead and introduce yourself, and then we're going to dive into why we have put the spotlight on you.
All right, thank you very much. Good morning, ladies. Good morning to all our viewers out there. My name is Oluwatomisin Adefa Olatayo. So, depending on which one you want, just take it. I'm a broadcast journalist, a gender and disability rights advocate. I'm also the executive director of Purple Abilities Foundation for Women and Girls with Disabilities. I mean, a whole lot of other things, amongst which I'm also a co-host of Bold TV. But today, I'm sitting on the guest seat, comfortably, by the way.
Very comfortably.
I'm a 24 fellow of the Mandela Washington Fellowship. Yeah.
Yes, and that is why we are here today. So Tomisin just participated in the Mandela Washington Fellowship Program. She is a 2024 MWF, and she is speaking to her senior colleague, MWF, the openers of the womb of MWF.
My senior seniors.
Very senior. So please, dobale well. MWF 2014, speaking to MWF 2014.
Paved the way for us.
Wow. All right.
And so, by the way, MWF is 10 years, and so these are the pioneers. Senior Freki.
Thank you. You're welcome. Very soon will be Citizen Freki. So just to make sure, or ancestor. So just to let us, by way of an opening, why are we talking about Mandela Washington Fellowship? It is a great opportunity. So the Mandela Washington Fellowship for Young African Leaders began, like you have already observed, in 2014. And it is the flagship program of the Young African Leaders, YALI. If you don't know MWF, you know YALI. And it empowers young people through academic coursework, leadership training, and networking. And the fellowship provides an outstanding opportunity for young leaders in sub-Saharan Africa. From 2014 up until currently, over 6,500 young leaders between the ages of 25 and 35 have participated in this program. The Mandela Fellowship Program is a program of the U.S. State Department, and it is funded by the U.S. government and administered by RX. It's important that we say that. So, Tomisin Ni Adeyefa, currently Olatayo, is the most recent MWF alumni of 2024. And so my first question to you, Tomisin, would be, why did you choose? Because there are many fellowships, there are many programs, there are many leadership programs out there. So before I throw and allow the ladies to ask their questions, I want to ask you, why did you choose to participate in the Mandela Washington Fellowship Program? Go ahead, please.
Thank you very much for that question. And I'm going to lay background to my response to that question. I've been applying for MWF since 2017. I applied 2017, 2018, 2019. I didn't apply in 2020 because of the pandemic. I didn't know what shape the program was going to take, but I applied again in 2021. I applied in 2022 for the 2023 fellowship, which I got on, but had to defer that opportunity again because I just had my baby. My baby was barely 3 weeks at the time. Fellows were traveling, and so I had to defer to 2024, which is now a reality. I've gone, and I'm back, so to speak. So recent alumni is the word. And for me, why MWF? I mean, why have I been applying all these years? It was more of what I wanted. Like you said, there are so many fellowships out there, but I wanted something that spoke more to what I do, what I believe in, my experiences, my values as well. I also wanted, a group, a fellowship that had a strong network of either participants, of, professionals, practitioners, and things like that. And if you look at it, the MWF is one very strong network like that. While you're at the program, while you are applying, while you are getting the fellowship, while you're an alumni, that network base is so strong across countries. And this is not just talking about Nigeria, it's so strong across countries. You have people that share your ideas, people who are willing to help you grow. So for me, it's more about that leadership value and, the strong network building, because the English people say your network is your net worth. So if you really want to know what you are, who you are, how you are, you should look at the people you surround yourself with. And that was one major reason for me. And then the fact that I have seen how the MWF has helped, change a lot of mindsets. I have quite a few friends who have been fellows, and I've seen how they look different when they come back. And for me, that was something that would keep you interested, because you're looking at it like you're only gone for 6 weeks. So it's not like you're gone forever or you've been there for 2-3 years. And so what's it about the change? Why do you have such a change of attitude, change of perspective, change of actions and reactions? And so it's something that kept me motivated over the years. And each time my application came back rejected, it was an opportunity for me to grow, to do more for the community that I believed in, which is a community of women and girls with disabilities. It was an opportunity for me to develop myself, to look at areas where I should have, be more. I should have been more than what I was last year. And so it kept me developing myself. And even at the point when I got it in 2022, I wasn't applying because I really wanted it anymore. It now became something that I was just applying for the sake of, let me just see what they have to say about my application this time around. And
awesome.
I hope there was a second opportunity, but unfortunately, no.
All right. So it's a one-time thing. And Tomisin, your consistency, especially because you believed in the value that the program would bring, and you stayed with it from 2017. That's 7 years from 2017, and only so you'd have been you had the opportunity to be a 2017 fellow, 2018 fellow. I just want to count it so that people know how long. And there's a lesson in that, that if you want something, you can stay with it. And you never know when you will get to it, especially when you continue to improve yourself. So for me, what I see is that in applying, you use that as a framework to continue to improve your civic engagement, to continue to improve your leadership capacity. And this brings me to also inform persons that the Mandela Washington Fellowship, because just as we're talking about and asking Tomisin her experience, if I turn it over to Afyong for her question, it's important that you know what the criteria is. So for age, you should be 25, between 25 or 35. However, if you are an exceptional 21 to 24-year-old, you may be considered. And you do not need to be a US citizen. It is for people who are leaving and from sub-Saharan Africa. You also need to be proficient in reading and writing English. It means that you should be able to communicate what your achievements have been with a proven record of leadership. So it's not about telling tall stories without evidence. You also need to be resident in sub-Saharan Africa, and you are not an alumni from before. Like she said, it's a one touch, one time forever thing. Even though we would have probably been going every year. So just to throw in some of that criteria, you have to be an energetic, have a positive and a flexible attitude. You have to have a proven record of leadership and accomplishment in either business, entrepreneurship, civic engagement, or public or government service. You also have to have a demonstrated commitment to public or community service, like volunteerism and mentorship. You have to have the ability to work corporately in a diverse group. So just in case you are interested, these are some of the criteria for selection. So Afyong, I know you have a question for Oluwatomisin based on her MWF experience. So go ahead.
Yes, so we are old like this. They will not even consider us. Oh my God. Let's just be holding and staying there now. Speaking of freshness, even Tomisin background have changed. Just go to the abroad and come back and background have changed. Oh Lord. Hey, let me come and find somewhere. Don't they have fellowship for older people? I don't know what they go.
They actually have other opportunities.
Welcome back. We missed you. I missed having you here. So welcome back. So I'm going to ask you, first and foremost, was that your first time there? Was that your first time in America?
That's my first time out of Nigeria.
Okay. So first and foremost, so before we go to the cocoa, what was the culture shock? How did he do you? How did he shock you?
It shocked me shockingly. Okay, so my first culture
just briefly,
shock.
just tell us, let me hear.
Yeah, my first culture shock had to do with the time. So at 7 p.m., 8 p.m., it still looks like 3, 4 p.m. in Nigeria. And because I could still see lights rays and things like that, I find it very difficult to sleep. And so sometimes at 9 p.m., I would have to, pull all my blinds, had to now use the duvet to wrap my head so as to just give myself that dark ambience so I could find some sleep. That for me was something I had to deal with for a very long time. And then the food, because the first few days were there was no alternative. You don't really know anywhere. You can't begin to jump around looking for Nigerian or African food. The food was another culture shock for me. Greetings was another culture shock for me. Here we're used to, hello, good morning, how was your night? Did you sleep well? Did you dream of me? And so you find out that you're saying hello to some people and they're just nodding their head and you're like, that's so rude. Well, I later got used to it, and then me too, when they greet me sometimes and I don't feel like talking, I'll just nod my head or smile. So that was another culture shock for me. And there's this acceptance thing. Immediately you are introduced, and there's this thing about persons in the United States wanting to talk about themselves. It's not something I am used to. In fact, where I come from, the moment you start telling people what you do, what you can do, and all of it looks like you're bragging. It looks like you're arrogant. And so you go to a networking event and you just must tell somebody about yourself. And then it's looking so awkward. I'm like, okay, my name is Oluwatomisin, and I'm struggling to remember some of the things I do so that I don't sound arrogant or I don't sound proud. But at the same time, this is normal for them. They just walk up to you and in fact, they give you a lowdown of what they've done in the past 10 years. And it doesn't look like they are being arrogant about it. So that was another major culture shock for me. So let me I can go on and on with the culture shock, really.
Wow, I know, it's not easy. So you were there missing Amalani wedding. So if I might add, did the experience, meet your expectations?
Yes, it met beyond my expectation, really, because I used to look at it like 6 weeks, isn't it too small to achieve anything, especially in a foreign land? And I just discovered that it depends on, your intention of being there. Trust me, if you're at MWF to have fun, you will have enough fun. If you are there to learn, you will have enough knowledge. If you are there to network, you will have enough. So it depends on why you are there. So if you are there to have a bit of everything, in fact, you'll have enough of everything within that 6 weeks. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you. Over to you, Frankie.
Awesome. So, as you've heard, Tomisin's experience was not just only academic, it was cultural, it was social, it was etiquette, it was everything. And that's one thing about the experience. And the whole networking thing, it resonates because I don't know how to tell you about anything I've done. And it was curious to me how somebody would walk up to you and tell you how they're responsible for so and so law and so and bill. And I'm like, do we need to announce this, or should I refer you to where you can read about it? Like, why are we doing this? So I understand completely and at the end of the day, it's not about that. Just put your best foot forward. You never know who needs it. You never know who can relate with it. You never know who you can partner with. You never know who you can collaborate with. So if a young person out there and you want to participate in Mandela Washington Fellowship, the applications are open. They open on August the 13th, so it's already going on, and it's going to close September 10th. And the next 2025 Mandela Washington Fellows will begin in June of 2025. So you just have a few days to complete an application, about a week plus. So if you're interested, you need to take your butt and yourself over to Mandela Washington Fellowship .org, and you would see the click or the link to apply or get information and more on frequently asked questions. So, bringing it back to Oluwatomisin, I just want to ask you about the leadership component of the program. Where did you do your 6 weeks, and what stuck out to you with interacting with fellows from the African countries?
All right, thank you very much. I had my leadership track in civic engagement at the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, UMBC. So that's where I had my leadership track. And we were about 25 fellows from 21 African countries. 2 of us were Nigerians in that cohort, actually. And that was the second time UMBC was hosting the Mandela Washington Fellowship. Talk about the second being the best. So it was fun, it was educating, it was enlightening. We had a lot of academic sessions, we had our CLCs, we had, experts come talk to us about, issues of civic engagement, how these are people who are into that space, who are doing one thing or the other in that space. And we also had quite a lot of site visits. Now, these are not just fun site visits, these are site visits that involves you actually meeting with those who are actually doing the job of civic engagement. You go into an organization that caters for refugees, for instance. You are meeting with the manager, you are meeting with volunteers, you are meeting with, beneficiaries, you're having a one-on-one chat with people in the technical department, people who are in charge of drawing up proposals and grants writing for them. Quite a whole lot of such activities. And we also had quite a lot of cultural exchange. The Americans, Mexicans, some other parts of Africa. We had one other thing that stood out for me, was more like a fellowship family host. So you are being assigned to a family that takes you in, like they adopt you as their fellowship child. I don't know if you understand what that means. So you're in another man's country, you're in a foreign country, and then you have a family who readily would take you in as their adopted fellowship child, and they would, help make the journey a smooth one. These are people you could talk to about, your challenges. They could call you up for dinner, for lunch. They could check up on you, and you have the opportunity to uphold all these relationships you built, whether with the MWF team at the school, whether during networking events, through your US family hosts, through your focus project coach, and any other network. You have the opportunity of going back to Nigeria or to wherever your country is with this relationship and continue, developing it from there. And talking about the other African countries, wow. It gave me a lot of more perspective to who we are as Africans. It's really, really an amazing experience for me. One that, of course, I cannot forget and will not be trading for anything.
Awesome. Great experiences. I think for me, during my time, I think one of the things that stood out with interacting with the other African countries was that somehow we had a very strong group of opinions. So it was interesting to see how those opinions would always merge at the end. So I liked that banter about it. People with different ideologies. You would think we're all Africans, but it doesn't really work like that. So and that's part of the experience.
And we still did have the jollof rice argument, really.
No, that's it.
I guess as Africans, we can't just overcome that jollof rice conversation. And then I saw that even Tanzania has jollof rice. Oh my God.
Jollof rice. Jollof rice. In fact, it's an argument of where this jollof rice came from, but it's all right.
But I feel that they collected because Nigeria still has.
You cannot win that argument. Take it to TikTok. Take it to TikTok. So I'm so glad that the 6-week leadership experience was amazing for you, and not just in the experiences that had to do with the other fellows from the African countries, but also the hands-on practical experiences where you met civic leaders. I remember us sitting in the seat of parliament because I went to the University of Delaware, so that whole thing. Oluwatomisin is arguing about her University of Maryland. You can be argued in the background, but UD, we're on top. So yes, after it does do like no together. So we can argue it from now till tomorrow. Well, all blues, I can go on and on. We're adopted in the school. So basically, just to cut the long story short, once you're there, it's like you're part of a whole new community that lasts for almost forever, and you're still with them, you're still engaged in the school. It's an interesting thing. And I just want to encourage any young person out there who has a proven record of leadership and all of the things that I reeled out as a criteria, that you should go ahead and apply. Now, the beautiful thing about Mandela Washington Fellowship is that it does not discriminate on any basis. So just to put it out there clearly, as you can well tell, that individuals with disabilities are encouraged to apply for MWF, and that the MWF does not discriminate against applicants, whether by race, color, especially for us, gender and disability. So do not think that it is an issue. The other thing that will not happen also, I know, is that you are not going to be chosen because you have a disability. It is based on merit. So the work would still have to have been done. Whether you choose to civic leadership, whether you choose public management, whether you choose entrepreneurship, or whether you choose whichever of the tracks you choose, you will still need to have some quality that you bring to it because it's merit-based. Okay? So I don't know if Afyong has any last questions as we begin to wind down, and then we'll wrap up.
Yes. So after all the Jollof and the Delaware and Maryland and Baltimore and things, so now that you are back, I believe if there's anything I know, yes, as by proxy, because we have not gone there and you're pressing me, but when there's anything we know by proxy is that there's an expectation for you to come back and replicate what you have learned. So now that you're back, what's the plan? What do you plan to do? What's the next step for you?
Okay, now that I am back, I I am taking up the mantle of my gender and disability rights advocacy more seriously, and I am going to be, developing initiatives around arts, culture that would influence the campaign against gender-based violence, more especially against women and girls with disabilities. Arts and culture, because of the power of storytelling. So much more of what I'm going to be doing is going to be centered around storytelling. It's going to be centered around personal development, using storytelling as a tool for women and girls with disabilities to campaign against the menace of gender-based violence. Quite a lot in the pipeline. There's a platform already for that, Purple Abilities Foundation, and for women and girls with disabilities. We are trying to roll out our programming, in bid to ensure that we don't put too much on the plate. But when I say that most of what we're going to be doing is going to be centered around storytelling, we are going to be using storytelling to develop women and girls with disabilities, to provide socio-economic empowerment for women and girls with disabilities, to also campaign around sexual and reproductive health, still using storytelling as a tool for all of this programming. So it's going to be a lot. In the midst, expect a web drama series that would campaign against GBV amongst WD in the mix. So it's going to be a whole lot. Giving back to my community, the community that I represent, giving back to upcoming generations, and also developing ourselves, basically, because we need to explore that sector of the arts. There's so much potential that we as women with disabilities can tap into that sector, and we can make something for ourselves. We can make something for our generation to ensure that we are not just trying to curb a social vice or to curb a social violence issue. We are also empowering ourselves in the process, and we are also creating that space, that safe space for women and girls with disabilities.
Awesome. So we also have Osaki with us, but she's having network issues. I want to really encourage women with disabilities who are able, and honestly, at the end of the day, if you do not put an application in, you cannot get a response. So you have should I say forebearers, people that have done this before. So you can reach out to us with your applications. We will not write the application for you. So I know exactly what I am saying. So you will go ahead and apply. It is open. So if you're between the ages of 25 to 35 years, and also if you are a 21 to 24 year old with an exceptional record, you can also apply. The application opened. One of the reasons why 25 to 35 is pegged as the range is because they believe that you would have had the time to really actually have a proven record, and you give other opportunities. And for a lot of young persons with disabilities out there, I want to encourage you, do not allow time to pass you by and opportunities like this. Because a lot of times we play the waiting game. We are waiting for something. I don't know what we're waiting for. So start applying. I'm not saying that you'll be like Oluwatomisin that applied for 7 years, but do start applying. So Oluwatomisin, if you're going to say one last word, anything about whether the experience or any question we didn't ask you, or something in your heart that you would still like to say that we didn't ask, go ahead, Oluwatomisin.
Okay, I just would say that to every woman within the age of 25 to 35, and you have a proven track record of leadership in whatever it is that you do, and you are interested in applying for the Mandela Washington Fellowship, I can assure you that you would not regret your interest. If there is one fellowship that still thinks of its alumni group, even when they become alumni, alumni is supposed to be their business, right? But the MWF Fellowship still brings opportunities to alumni, even when they have become alumni. And so I feel like you should just go ahead, apply for it, put your energy into it, tell your story yourself. Thank you.
Awesome. So again, Mandela Washington Fellowship is a flagship program. It was brought up during the administration of President Barack Obama, which we met, just putting that out there, and Michelle Obama. We've met them, y'all. I just want them to be more jealous. Don't worry. So back to this. So If you're a young person between the ages of 25 and 35 and you want to participate in a 6-week leadership institute at the US where you do leadership coursework, academic work, if you want to explore industries beyond your daily work and expand your expertise, if you want to participate in a summit with young African leaders that happens at the end of the 6 weeks at Washington, D.C., if you want to meet U.S. government officials, civic and business leaders, if you want to strengthen your work through new connections, skills, and ideas, and if you want to join a continental and a global alumni network to help you seek innovative solutions to common challenges, you are a woman with disability that has a proven track record, you would want to apply, whether in civic or in business, that's entrepreneurship, or public, that's people that offer government services. So this is encouraging us to put our best foot out there. Safi, I don't know if you have anything to say. I'll just do my wrap up.
I just want to say for the record, I'm not jealous. I'm trying. I am trying. The oppression is real, but I'm trying to be the bigger person here, bigger as in. So that's just it.
If I may,
but please don't be like me. I was waiting. Now time don't pass. Please take advantage of this opportunity. Go and apply. You see, don't wait. If Oluwatomisin could keep going back every time, even with the rejection won't kill you. It just means go and do something better. So step out. Take advantage of opportunities. Go and apply. Stop sitting there.
All right. So whether you have a disability or not, it's an inclusive fellowship. Participate. All right. So we've come to the end of this program, Bold TV, and what we had for this particular episode is my Mandela Washington Fellowship experience featuring Oluwatomisin Olatayo, who is the MWF 2024 Fellow, and she shared a bit of her experience within the short time that we had. And for all the persons with disabilities, like I told you, MWF is powered by the US State Department. So go over to there. There are other fellowships, Eisenhower's Fellowship, Fulbright Fellowship. There are actually other fellowships that you can participate in. Like Afyong said, don't wait. Do what you need to do at time, because time does not wait. Time does not care if you're a woman. Time also doesn't care if you have a disability. So until come your way next week, Saturday by 10:30 a.m., this has been Bold TV, powered by Bold Heart Initiative. We really appreciate our online audience for sticking with us since 2020. We will continue to bring you riveting conversations on disability and how it intersects with gender, whether it's lifestyle, whether it is information, whether it's entertainment, all of it we will bring to you. So check out our YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/@boldtv_boldhearts, or check out our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/boldheartsnetwork. Follow, subscribe, hit the notification button so that you can know when new episodes come up at 10:30 a.m. every Saturday. So until we come your way, same time. Bye.
Bye. See ya. See ya.
See ya.
See ya.
All right.
See ya.
This is Bold TV.